Will you send us the same reel?
It is not possible for everyone to just come down to that level.
It becomes a lot of pressure to understand first what they are.
The idea today is to just try and answer these questions as with the perspective of what you have seen in school, how you see a teenager's life, because I know that a lot of teenagers come to you, they talk to you, or even though if you are around a teenager, you're able to see certain things that a lot of parents might not be able to. Not just parents, but other people who are working with teenagers as well. And when it comes to schools, we always see one version of a teenager. When we are seeing them at home, we are seeing them a very different version. Then again, in schools also with friends, they are different. In home also, when they are going out, their cousins and other teenagers, they are different. So many times these two worlds don't fully talk to each other. Like the school version and the home version, they're not actually the similar ones. We have seen that a lot of times. And even though that they're dealing with the same child, like the parents are dealing with the same child, so what kind of support do you feel that is missing between schools and homes when it comes to teenagers' emotional development there? Like they can come and talk about themselves and be themselves.
Well, not all the time, not in all the cases where you will see one single child showcasing different behaviors at home as well as school. I'll give you an example. Okay? You have two friends. For example, Dikshita and me, we are your friend. Okay? Will you send us the same reel? Though we two are your friends. Why?
Depends.
Why will you not send us the same reel?
Because I might have a very different bonding with you as compared to what one I have with her.
Or probably she might get clicked when you send her a funny reel, or I might not get click in that.
Yeah.
Right? I might get click if you send me something probably informative.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So though we three of us the three of us shares the same bond, but the idea that you have towards us is very different.
Yeah.
Right? Because you connect with us very differently. For example, you tell me something. For example, you can talk to Dikshita about your emotions, but whereas with me, you mostly like to talk about work, because you understand that Dikshita will understand your emotion much more better than I do.
Yeah.
Right? Similar thing happens in school. You will go home and you go to your mom or your dad and you tell your parents, ki, I like this person. Okay? Your parents will say, this is not your age. We will talk this when you are 18. Abhi time nahi hai. Same thing, you go to your friend and you tell your friend the same thing. I like this person. What will your friend say? Arey wah, tell me about her. Yeah, or him. Persuade her. Your friend will give you a lot of informations or idea how you should go forward. So then that is what happens, right? At home, there is a little bit of restriction. Even though there are few parents who are extremely friendly with their kids, right? But still, there's a little bit of restrictions, right? They are authoritative figure. Whereas when it comes to friends, they are not. They are your peers. How you're thinking, what you're thinking, they are thinking in a similar way, same way. When you're saying something, what you're getting is whatever you're thinking, they are just agreeing to it, and they're like, ha bhai, you're saying it correct. So you connect with them more, right? If as an adult, if you are thinking that the bacha will behave similar way at home as well as at school, it will never happen. I mean to say, they want acceptance.
Yes.
Nothing else.
Yes.
Right? Even if they are making a mistake, or even if they are not, they just want acceptance. But a parent can never be your friend.
I know.
That is the thing. No? A parent can never be a friend, because when we are with friends, the essence, the aura is very different. Right? And though you are extremely, probably at this age, we all are very close with our parents. I'm assuming that, right? But at a certain age, even though they are very friendly with them, but you tend to share a little bit of distance. And that too at the peak of, to say, adolescence.
Nowadays, parents really want to come up and understand their child. They want to see how the child is feeling at school and why is the child not similarly behaving at home. So now when we are having those PTA meetings, there we are sharing about the child, like how he is in school, how he's behaving, how he's performing. Now, immediately they kind of reflect on what the child is doing at home. That's why that kind of biasness or that inhibition comes to their head. Now I think, just like how she said, a child is supposed to be different at home and different in school. It's a fact, actually. It is not something which is very bizarre or different for me, because yeah, it's not odd, because in school you have teachers, you have your friends, you have you are in between a very social kind of environment where you have to put the best version of yourself out. When you are at home with your parents, you have that kind of liberty to be who you are. It could be that irritating side of yours, it could be that throwing tantrums, which might not be accepted in the society in school, because we are taught like that, right? At home you're at home, and when you're going out, it's the society that you are kind of presenting in front of. So I think even for students, it becomes a lot of pressure to understand first what they are, because in those years of when they are in school, they are still trying to understand that, you know um, how they are feeling in school, how they are feeling at home. It can never, I feel it can never be similar. So that particular thing in anybody's head, or parents, when they think that my child is very different at home and school, this is something which is going to happen with each and every kid. It happened to us as well. We were very different in school with our friends, with our teachers, and very different at home. And that is how it's supposed to be. So sometimes I think, more than kind of complicating things in your head or thinking about it in a very different way, we can also normalize it by thinking that chalo theek hai, school mein koi, he gets to be a little different version of his, and at home he's just a different version of himself.
I think we all will agree that most things what we have said is quite. Uh, we can just boil it down with, I think, a very simple part, as if the parents, they can also try to be a part, or they can get themselves in the shoes of the teenagers, just to understand their perspective. At the end of the day, like, I think most teens will only want their parent to just see their world from their eyes just once, just to understand how things are going. Like, even if like everything is going well, maybe there's something still there that bothers them, which might not be a very huge problem, but which might just be like a just a want for something, and they might not be able to express that. And I think parents can just try to come in their shoes to understand just that, their perspective. I know that it is not possible for everyone to just come down to that level and understand everything, because of experience, and I think because of
Age
the
gap.
age gap. So it's very different, and it's also very difficult. But I think I think we are all trying to say that the effort is what matters.
Yeah.
Effort matters a
I
lot,
think
and
it's
I think
simplest of
exactly.
effort by the parent is enough
Yeah,
for a
yeah,
teenager or any child to
exactly. I
actually feel
think
accepted.
exactly.
And with whatever all three of you said, I think one of the things that is very important for a parent to simply understand is that even if the versions are different that you actually get, it's somewhere very important for you to see that those tantrums, those things that they do, is also a space where they want to be, like when they come to that comfort zone, they become that vulnerable.
And it is all of your child.
Yeah,
All those
those
traits
versions
are
the-
made
yeah,
of your child.
they're not
That's like a
separate.
package that you
Yeah.
get overall.
I think that's well put.